Do you see my screen or not?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Our conference is dedicated to the wonderful professor, cardiologist, sport medicine, Dr. Vyacheslav Zaitsev. He was the founder of several conferences, including this one. He supported innovation even if it went beyond exciting scientific knowledge. Our conference is also dedicated to peace through our beautiful planet. Health, self-development of a person, his desire for perfection, our universal human values, and our largely activities through physical education and sports. It is the universal human values that are reflected in the goals of our conference. Conference materials are published in 3 of our journals. Articles of some authors will be published in the collection of our conference. It is included in 9 scientific bases on the world. The latest issue will be published in approximately 5 days. Everyone who has submitted articles to this journal will receive a notification. Also, articles by other authors were published in the last 2 issues in the Health Technologies Journal. Articles that have been reviewed in the Scopus Journal, Health Sport Rehabilitation, and accepted for publication are now in the Articles in Press section on the journal's website. Links to our journals will be in the chat. Also, in the chat will be a link to Google Drive where there is a conference program and where will the certificates for all participants will be posted. How we will work? All presenters can share the screen if necessary. The speaking time limit is 10 minutes. All reports will be in English. However, questions and answers will be translated from Ukrainian into English and from English into Ukrainian. Our translator is Serhiy Kozin, Ph.D. physical therapist, lecturer at Department of Physical Therapy and Health at the National Pharmaceutical University, Kharkiv, Ukraine. The topics of the reports and the data of speakers are presented in the conference program. Now, the word of welcome goes to PhD, Associate Professor, Dean of Faculty of Physical Education and Sport, Skovoroda Kharkiv National Pedagogical University, Vitaly Korobeynik. Please. Please, Vitaly. Maybe there are problems with internet. We are now in Kharkov. Kharkov is near close to the Russian, and we have every often broke internet, electric, and other problem. He will be here, but now broken his internet. Okay. We have the change in our program, and first will be give a report Alexander Skalny, Ph.D. professor, director of the Institute of Sport and Physical Culture in the University of Economy in Bydgoszcz, Poland. Topic of the report, Polish-Ukrainian projects in the field of physical education and sports. Please.
Hello, dear friends. First of all, tell me, please, you see my presentation and you hear my voice, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for invitation. For me, a big honor to be here on your conference, especially on a very, very nice city, Kharkov, and I absolutely believe that it's very close to all territory of Ukraine will be free from the Russian aggression, and all territory of Ukraine will be independent, and we will together build a nice world, as you showed the nice picture about the safety world, when you were speaking about the professor. Special thanks to my friends, all friends which we have in our conference, especially to Professor Serhiy Kozin, to invitation, also for the Dean Vitaly Korobeynikov. We working together many years, and for me again big honor to be here on your conference here and show something. Today I want to change a little bit way to show our activity, and you know that the thematic will touch international projects. But our university, it's the biggest private university on Poland. We have 7 different areas on North Poland, filials. Also, we have a filial on Kyiv in Ukraine as well. In this year, we open our filial on a semi in Shakarim University on Kazakhstan. As our university is a university of 4th generation university, and we have a practical profile that 80% of our lessons it's a practical exercises, only 20 it's a lecturers. I want to show you how we realize by practical our projects. University VSG University have a lot huge numbers of different projects, and first few slides only text, but after that only photos. Okay, I suppose it's okay for you. Well, why? Oh my God! It's my microphone was turned off.
No.
We hear you well.
Oh, okay, because it was red. Okay, and you hear what I say before?
We heard everything,
Oh,
and
my
we are
God.
looking forward.
Okay. Okay, and now I can change here. Okay, I find it. First of all, it's not definition, but it's very important things why we write projects and why the project is absolutely needed for everyone develop at university. First of all, the implementation of each project is the next steps to develop any organization. Everyone projects one of the best way to increase the university rating. Also, it's a very good opportunity to use grant funds for the development of organization, for the training personnel, as well as achievement of materials base. You can use project for develop university and for do what you want. It's very good instrument to do this. Also, we're looking for the project as a possibility to better understanding our partners and optimal use all power of both organizations, 2 organizations or more organizations. It's very, very important. Also, international project and partner project, it's a good opportunity to attract highly qualified partner personnel. For example, we have a very good staff on a sport managing, but our partner have a very good staff or sport training, and we can use in the project to collaboration and do one thing together. It's very nice. And the implementation of the large number of projects, absolutely, it's irrefutable evidence of very well managed and functioning organization. Of course, when we are speaking with different representatives of universities asking what project you realize, how you realize this, when the one university say, oh, we have only 1 or 2 projects, for us, it's a big question. Why? Because I think that future for increase your development, it's writing different projects. Well, it's only start, and I think the next, it's only photos, and I will try to explain how we do it. First of all, about the projects, it's my definition. I want to share this definition for all our network. Remember about project, that writing project, it's a very difficult process, but it's much more difficult to win this project. Much more difficult to realize this project, but absolutely difficult to finish project and have final report and positive mark for this final report. We must remember about it. And when we're speaking about the project, we're speaking only for all these steps: writing, winning, realize, and reporting. It's very important. A few things about only example of our project which we realize. For example, one of the world famous instructor of baby swimming, which have a book, Swim with Love, Terry Saxett, work with us, and we realize together project on Germany, Poland, in Czech Republic, as well on China, on USA, on Kazakhstan, for example. And one of other project was to translate this book, very famous book, very nice, to the Russian language, and prepared a special project for training Ukrainian instructor of baby swimming, international instructors. And it was on the last year, on a 23 of February 2022, this project must start on Kharkiv. But you know that Russian aggression, and it was a big collapse. This book is already translated also on a Russian and a Ukrainian language, and we waiting when the war is stopped to prepare this course on first of all on Kharkiv. It's only example how different outside things can change your plans, On a photo, you can see our course on a Kazakhstan. It was first course on of baby swimming, training baby swimming instructor in a Kazakhstan. It was on the city Akhtubinsk, last name of city. Now it's October. and it was fantastic because from about 25 cities, people coming to have this knowledge. But this is realized other university. We are on a Bydgoszcz in Poland, and we realized this international project on Kazakhstan. Now, a little bit about Ukraine. We realize many projects in Ukraine, and we have a very, very good partners for projects. It's very important to have a good partners. We planning to open in Kharkov the special center of training first aid and training of sport medicine laboratory, but the war is starting. And therefore we change our plans, and our project was directed to help for other partners. Look, projects must take many good things for both sides. And when we have a partner in a war, of course we must to help. On this thing for us help program, special program, it's a Support Ukraine from the Polish American Freedom Foundation and Foundation of Education for Democracy. What we do? In Kharkov, you have a very nice academy on physical education, which we cooperate very, very good, and have a problem with a bunker for hide from the attacks. Every day you have attacks. Never know when this attacks coming to the center of city, around the city, and when you have an alarm, some students must go and go down underground. And Kharkiv Academy has a wars room. Therefore, we help to build a new room for hide from the bomb attacks. And now this is a room, a special academic center, very well functioning. Very interesting that last month rector of this university say when they open, when all groups was online, say, oh, it will be nice to do them more. Now we write second project and also win, and this is underground classrooms will be much more huge. I only show you information how it was, and now the last picture from this project. On the top you can see how it was before project, but on a down it's a after realized project. All was paid from absolutely from the project, but of course it's only touching to physical education, because it's only physical education students study, and it's infrastructural project. Now I was to touch directly problem of physical education and sport. Okay. After pandemic, because pandemic also changed our plans during the realize few projects, we try to find very nice instrument to help back to physical activity for many kind of citizens, for small children, for adults, for old people, for people with special need. And we're thinking how to do it, what we can propose which help to increase the physical education. And we think very nice idea. Why we can't using the old national games? And we starting to looking around and find many nice wood games from different countries, and write the project. What is the games? For example, it's a cornhole from 14th century. Very easy rules. You must put the back to the hole with cornhole. It's cornhole game, very famous in USA. For example, another game is Jacolo from the Holland. It's Sjolen, natural name is Sjolen. We buy this game. For example, Kulbutto, it's a game where you must putting moving balls, wood balls in special holes. For example, shuffleboard, something like also wooden. You must be on a center of the table. And for example, La Passe Trappe, also the French skill game. And we find many games, about 30 different games. We write the project to the Polish Ministry of Education that we want to open the center for training people, for increase the physical activity of different group of age, and we won this project. During 1.5 years in our university, we have a special center with this different games. And as we see, it was very nice and popular. First of all, it's absolutely possible to use from the 5-year children up to 100. With people, for people with a different possibility activity. Special, very nice. It's a small motion motor skills, very nice, especially for old people. Also, it's very good for people with special needs because everyone can use it. Everyone can use it. And during this, if you want, you can go to the page which you see on your screen, and many other analyses, photos you can find, also as well as the rules of the games, and you can use it. We're sharing it for free. Use it, please. But we not stop on this. If we are, it's this photo from different activities in our center. Sometimes we go out to the terrain. Sometimes we going to another villages and center work very activity. Our students was as instructors, and they study as well, have a practical, very important things. But we not stop on this. Using the funds of program RITA, we write and win a special project to share our experience to three Ukrainian university. One of them is University of Rivne. It's MEGU, Universitet Demenchuka, University of Demenchuk. Second one in Lviv, university named by Bobersky. It's one of the central physical education university on other country in Ukraine, as well on a Kharkiv, in Kharkiv Academy of Physical Education. What we do? First of all, we invite people and students, teachers to our university. They study 1 week how to use equipment, how to work with people with different age, with different ability, with small children, with old people, and also they use from they take from a project collect of many games and back to universities, to home, to Ukraine. After that, you see the special banners. It was printed on billboards. Everyone take it to own city. And after that, we open 3 centers in Ukraine, where children, where the people which moved from a war, which students can use it for free for 1 year. They have for free all equipment, they have knowledge, They have special materials which you need, including small eating for visitors, and this center open by 1 year. Also, if you're in Kharkiv, you can visit Kharkiv Academy of Physical Education. I want to show you small video how it's work. This video from Kharkiv. But second video, it's from Rivne.
Standing in a place where doubt and faith collide, staring in the face of fear that has to die. When you call my name, there's only one reply. No, I won't wait, I'll give you my whole life. I will go where you send me, to the ends of the earth, just say the word.
Last one, I want to show you small material. I'm sorry too much. I have no it's on English language because it was on a Ukrainian television. To look, think, and understand how it's work. It's very important.
Шестирічний Родіон цьогоріч пішов у перший клас. З перших років життя у хлопчика діагностували синдром дефіциту уважності та гіперактивність. Мама дитини, пані Катерина, каже, Родіон веселий та непосидючий. Сьогодні вони завітали на відкриття польсько-українського адаптаційного центру. Тут діти можуть проходити реабілітацію, граючись.
Я думаю, що такі центри потрібні для того, аби діти змогли знайти якісь нові інтереси для себе або нові вподобання також для себе і могли цим надалі займатися, тому що цікавитися. Взагалі сьогодні діткам дуже сподобалось. Кожен знайшов щось для себе, щось його більше зацікавило когось.
Адаптаційний центр для людей з інвалідністю створили на базі Міжнародного економіко-гуманітарного університету імені Степана Дем'янчука. Тут є різноманітні дошки, настільні ігри, кукурудзяні мішечки та інші ігрові набори. За словами фахівців, такі забави допомагають розвивати дрібну моторику рук та є частиною моральної та фізичної реабілітації.
Особливість методики занять у адаптаційному центрі полягає в тому, що ми досягаємо в першу чергу ефекту якого? Це ефект соціальної адаптації, це також покращення психофізичного розвитку. І, зокрема, таких функцій, як, наприклад, когнітивні функції, дрібна моторика, також ми внесли свої напрацювання, це розвиток ще пропріоцепції, а також балансу.
Для відвідувачів немає вікових обмежень, тож окрім групи людей з інвалідністю, двері відкриті також для внутрішньопереміщених осіб та військовослужбовців, які повернулися із фронту. А все для того, аби допомогти людям соціально адаптуватися. Реалізували цей проєкт після того, як виграли грант спільно з польськими партнерами. Наразі в новому центрі працюють студенти, які впродовж декількох місяців переймали польський досвід в ерготерапії.
Це зараз грант із університетом з Англії, це грант із університетом з Битовища Польщі. І в даному випадку ми сьогодні на такому заході на відкритті такого центру і знаходимося. Наші студенти пройшли стажування в Польщі в університеті Битовища, готові до реалізації цієї програми.
Такі ж центри створять на базі ще двох університетів у Харкові та Львові. Щодо Рівненського, то він працюватиме щосереди з 14 до 16 та щосуботи з 11 до 14 години. Тетяна Міщинська, Олег Шаламай, телеканал ITV.
Serhiy Kozin, please translate.
Okay, I just, in few words, I would like to describe this video for our foreign colleagues. Okay, you could see a boy with some kind of attentional problems. He doesn't have cerebral problems, just attentional problems, and you could see different types of games that were provided to these children in order to improve mobility, in order to improve some kind of neural control of their muscles, motor control as well. And later in this video, you could see educational activity to students, and in general about this help that provides from Poland, from University of Bydgoszcz as well, for help to support different area, and in this particular video with to help with children with different problems. Just a physical therapeutic approach and ergotherapy as well.
Thank you very much. And as a summary, I want to say and invite all, because it's these centers work not only for students and not only for citizens, also for teachers and investigators. And I want to invite you to use this center in Lvov, Rivne, and Kharkiv, also as a good platform to different kind of knowledge investigation, and we can do this together investigation and publish our results. And I think it's a very good idea. Well, sorry so much that my speech was longer as normal 10 minutes, but invite you to collaborate with us and write joint projects, because every one university in the future will be absolutely obligatory to develop using by a project. Thank you very much, and maybe you have a question.
Yes, thank you, dear Alexander. Please, what questions will there be?
Gabriel Budoś, cześć, witam serdecznie.
Thank you very much, Professor. I've only got one question. I didn't get it from the presentation, maybe, but I was curious. Who was this project funded by? Was it funded by European Union?
No. Thank you for your question, but this project funded by a special Polish American foundation. It's a foundation of freedom, and such projects, it's a small project directed to develop different democracy things on a country post-Soviet Union. And the one of the way of these projects, you have different ways, but the one of the way of this project, it's educational things, and we using this way. But also that developed a non-government organization, develop freedom of press and democracy, many things. The money, it's about 100 Polish zloty. It's a maximum what you can support, but you look, using small money, you can do something nice.
Yes. Thank you for the answer. Maybe one more question that is like a follow-up to what you just said. I was wondering whether this I mean, agency, or like this American Polish agency, I believe it is agency, if it is strictly American Polish, or if there are any other, let's say, post-Soviet republics in there as well. Me being from, I'm sorry, me being from Slovakia, I'm just asking for like a future reference if there are any other countries doing that.
What about the RITA project? RITA project working on Poland, and a Polish organization can apply with partners from these countries. But this is foundation, Polish, sorry, the foundation of democracy work on a different country. And I absolutely believe that on a Czech Republic, and as I well understand, you are from Czech, yeah?
Well, Slovakia, but...
Oh, sorry, from Slovakia. Sorry,
it's all right, it's all right.
Sorry, from Slovakia. And I absolutely believe that such foundation also work on your country, but maybe name of the projects little bit else. But Slovakia also can take part as a partner of these projects. But I show, sorry, yes, I am show only smaller projects. Of course, for us, it's much more easier to using different projects from European Union, from Euro Commission. For us, it's much more easy, but it's a little bit difficult for such country as Ukraine, Kazakhstan, for example. But looking for your question, it's I absolutely believe that Ukraine now on a way to big open door to realize projects. I think yesterday that Euro Commission says that we're starting to procedure to invite Ukraine to Union. I remember as was on a Polish when the huge numbers of projects from European Union coming to Poland. It will be absolutely same in Ukraine, but now the staff, teachers, and university workers must be prepared to write projects. Now, it must be now. And we're starting from the small steps, from the small projects.
Of course, thank you for the answer, and sorry for taking too long. Thanks.
No. Dziękuję bardzo.
Okay. Serhiy Kozin, please translate to Ukrainian. Short translate. Short.
I think that this it was a big discussion about the topic, and I think that we should continue.
To Ukrainian.
Значить, це було питання про хто спонсорує, хто є спонсором проєктів, чи це держава польська, але це більше не держава, це демократичні об'єднання в странах пострадянського Союзу, які можуть надавати кошти які організують ось такі конкурси за цими проектами і можуть надавати на них допомогу.
Для тих, хто цікавиться цією програмою, я одразу відкрив на вікно. Програма RITA.org є це українською мовою, тому дуже запрошую до того, щоб цього скористуватися. I opened the window with this project and with this program, and you can go and read more. It's different languages, and if you want, you can use it. And I think it's very, very useful. It's a programrita.org. I will put it on our chat.
Я також хочу додати, що Олександр Скалій підкреслив, що зараз в теперішній час для України відкриваються нові можливості з точки зору отримання ось на такого роду проекти, і в нас більша ймовірність того, що якщо проект буде достатньо необхідним, то ми можемо отримувати допомогу на реалізацію цих проєктів. And I have a question, if you wouldn't mind, Alexander, for you. I'm wondering, how do you approach to differentiate what types of idea you want to do, just in terms of projects? What's your approach to understand what do you want to implement?
Okay, thank you for the nice question. But I want to say that it's a big discussion how we do it, because as a university for generation, we're looking around and try to do such project which are needed for around world. Look, we are on a Poland, but we change Ukraine, we change Kazakhstan, we do something on a Zambia, and we're looking not for take money, because other university, you must understand, we have nothing from we have nothing funds from this. All funds go to the project, nothing, zero. And not every one university can do it, because we have many etaps to develop. And on the first etap, many universities or many organizations look for the projects to reach the money to have something. But now we have enough. It's about 80% of our budget. It's a budget of projects, not for student fees. We're looking for such ideas. We're looking for something new, something very needed. For example, last one project year before war in Ukraine was a project in 5 universities in Lviv, Zhytomyr, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. It was a project to study students how to do diagnostic of breast cancer, because it's a big problem, and we know that in our university we teach students how to have diagnostic breast without doctor before going to doctor, and it's very important thing. And therefore, we write this project. We're looking for the needed of other countries and other partners, and also that main idea sent for us other partners, because partners know the biggest problem which they have. For example, 2 weeks ago, here in our university was a rector of the biggest Kyrgyzstan university. It's Osh University. It's 50,000 students. And 1 year ago, they say to us that we have big problem with the ecology. Can you show for us how to do it? How you save the world? Yes, we can do it. And we write the project, common project together. And now we learn staff and students how to save ecology in our world. It's short.
Yeah, I understand that it's a huge question, and nevertheless, thank you very much for your answer. And я хочу коротко сказати. Значить, моє питання було в тому, питання полягало в тому, як Олександр і університет Бигдаші підходив до підбору проєктів, тобто що ми будемо робити, яку ідею, як до цього підійти. І відповідь наступна, що ми намагаємося, це по-перше, це дуже велике питання, але ми намагаємося зрозуміти, що необхідно більше усього. І ось, наприклад, за рік до війни нашим проектом було в Україні 5 університетів, і ми запроваджували заходи діагностиці, мануальної діагностиці, яка дозволяла встановити певні маркери щодо раку
Молочної залози.
Так, молочної залози. І до того, як до того, як у пацієнта з'являться якісь симптоми, з якими він вже піде до лікаря, є засоби, які дозволяють встановити ймовірність того, що може є як проблема з цим, і це були заходи, які були запроваджені в 5 університетах в містах України: Львів, Житомир, Харків і інших. Так. Дякую. Okay, I think we can continue. Let's continue.
Yes, we will continue. And now the floor is given to Georgy Korobenikov, Professor, Doctor of Science, Professor Researcher, Institute of Psychology, German Sport University, Cologne, Germany, Head of Department of Combat Sport and Transports, National University Ukrainian and Physical Education at Sport, member of National Association of Sport Kinetics. Please, Georgy Valerievich.
Okay, I ready, but I try to connect my presentation. 1 moment. Okay. Now.
I can to show. I can
One moment. I
show.
try if it not possible. Sorry. Okay. Now I see. Okay. If you see my presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have you.
See, okay. I open, see? Yeah?
Yes. We can see it. We
Okay,
now
okay.
see it.
Okay. Dear colleagues, I would like wishes and many thanks for my friends, my colleagues, Professor Serhiy Kozin and Kharkov colleagues for invitation on this conference and possibility of present on my presentation. And I think in this very difficult time is very important this conference and different our meetings. And I hope Ukrainian scientists united with our friends in different countries will give a new experience, and in the future our sport science will be in the better of the world, I hope. Okay, my presentation concerning the psychological status of athletes with different levels of aggression. In wide introduction to sport practice, the modern technologies is the progress of wrestling science. One of the main ways of this approach is the use of personality peculiarities of wrestling, including the individual typological characteristic of high nervous system. It's very important properties, but the productivity of sport activity links with the psychological conditions and coordination characteristic of wrestlers and emotions. Because one of the wrestling finds related with higher level of emotions of athletes. Modern wrestling characterized of rise level of emotional tension during competitive activity. The fight is a clash between two persons with different psychological individual characteristics. That is why it may be traditional wrestling is considered aggression kinds of sport. But our previous study showed that anger is not the mobilization emotional factor in wrestling activity. We established that anger interference with process of reasoning and choice. Person is worried, emotionally excited, as a result loss of control under the situation. That is why we can establish the relation between psychophysiological status and level of aggression in athletes. Different emotional phenomena in athletes can be described as a specific influence of external factors on internal process. Each factors which including of manifestation emotional athletes during competition, prolonged status, motivation, stress resistance, aggression, functional condition, and level of competitiveness. Stress or general adaptation syndrome, according to Serhiy theory, corresponded with some changes of physical, chemical, and organic factors. And stress situation, including three stages: stage of anxiety, stage of resistance, and stage of excitation. Stress resistance is one of the main characteristics of athletes, which manifestation in the emotional load associated with complex competitive activity. Stress resistance is associated with the complex adaptation response of the body of athletes, which aim at overcoming the negative impact of external stimuli or psychosomatical tension. We cannot prevent the influence of stress factors of athletes in sport activities, but we need a search for optimal ways to minimize the impact of stress in a competitive environment. According to the concept of heart rate, variability cardiovascular system is an indicator of adaptive reaction of an athlete's body. Variability is a property which corresponded with the biological process and associated with needed to adaptive of organism to changes on environment condition. And we can think that we believe that variability is variability of various parameters, including heart rate, in response to the influence of any factors. For example, this slide we see changes of parameters of heart rate variability, vegetative balance, ratio activated of sympathetic to parasympathetic tone in athletes with different age. And we see that athletes with younger athletes during the psychomotor loads had more significant changes of these parameters. But aging athletes, we see a significant increasing of parameters of vegetative balance, which correspond to the activation of sympathetic system during psychoemotional load. We propose schema of formation stress resistance athlete, which including three factors: emotional stability, the state of the autonomic nervous system, and speed of neurodynamic response as a characteristic which corresponded with some adaptive strategies of competitive activity of athletes. Aggression is a property of a person which indicates the influence of internal emotional on the external and social environment of a person. It is a specific form of action characterized by the demonstration of superiority in strength or in the use of force by a person or group of persons, in competitive, in fight, in some training process too. According to Wilson conception, aggression is an emotional imbalance of personality, neurotic personality protest against the various stressors. We see demonstrate of this example of during the wrestling competition. Our questions. It is believed that the manifestation of aggression in sport activities is one of the factors that can contribute to the mobilization of athletes' psychic reserves. Our hypotheses indicate that relation between psychophysiological state and level of aggression of elite athletes. We can assume that not always the aggression is accompanied by the optimal psychophysiological state of elite wrestlers. We studied 27 elite wrestlers, members of the national team of Greco-Roman wrestling of Ukraine, and use complex psychodiagnostic methods. And aggression we studied by Bass and Darke scale with some modification which assess of parameters comfort, discomfort, balance of process, and arousal and inhibition. The study measures level of psychic state, subjective state, assessed by Lucier test, color test with estimate of some subjective prevalence of different colors which corresponded with really psychical state of athletes.
Georgi, I'm really sorry for interrupting you. I just want to notice that we now we see only first slide of your presentation.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We can see my slide.
Yeah. Now we can.
Now see? Or not?
Yeah. We see.
Okay. Maybe in this form. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, now we see slide with the methods and
methods. Okay. I stopping in methods. Okay, and continue. Okay. Yeah. We separate our athletes with two groups. The first group with athletes with high level of aggression, and the second group with athletes with low level of aggression. And in this slide, we see results of our study with aggression in both group of athletes. And we see that high level of aggression corresponded with increasing of verbal and psychical aggression and high level of aggressiveness as response reaction. study of psychical state biological test shows that high level of aggression corresponded with increasing of parameters of deviation from autokinesis norm, which corresponded with non-comfort, discomfort situation of athletes, subjective discomfort, and vegetative coefficient parameters low in high level aggression, which corresponded with increasing of sympathetic tone of higher nervous system. Study of balance on neural process showed that high level of aggression corresponded with increasing of arousal of neural process and prevalence of parameters of excitation for concerned in low level aggression. According to our study, we proposed schema of links between psychological state and level of aggression in adult wrestlers. According to schema, high level aggression in adult athletes related with psychical discomfort and prevalence of arousal of neural process. But low level aggression related with psychical comfort and balance between process of arousal and inhibition of neural process. And this improvement influence as improvement of wrestling performance of athletes and high level of levels of results in competition. Thus, aggression is non-optimal emotional which influence to increasing of subjective psychological discomfort and process of arousal of nervous system in adult wrestlers. And we believe that the main task of athletes and coaches is optimization of emotional of athletes and a low level of aggression before the competition. This ways, we believe, increasing of results and for our really work in now national teams of athletes related with our these results, and I think is one of the points that aggression is not optimal emotional for athletes or wrestlers. Thank you for your attention. Any questions, please?
Thank you to Georgy Karabinnikov. Please, the questions.
I have one, if you wouldn't mind. First of all, thank you very much for your presentation. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, and it is particularly interesting for me as an athlete. I engage in sport climbing, and in sport climbing, we are more tend to be more focused, more calm. And I was wondering, is it depends on their different sports? What do you think? Aggression factor? How different types of sport correlated with mindset? Yeah, like yeah. As I make myself clear.
Okay, I think that some our colleagues, our specialists in sports science, sometime not correct presentation of some emotional optimization of athletes before the competition. In our study, and we believe that some negative emotionals, the same aggression, is a not optimal emotional, and this emotional not improvement of performance of athletes. But any coaches thinking that, especially in combat sport, that aggression is very good, very high level emotional, and it may be help of athletes of increasing on performance during competition. I think that that's not correct, because really study and really practice equipments approaches sure is another situation. And I think the same in different kinds of sport too, I believe.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. How will questions? You can ask questions in Ukraine, in Ukrainian. Ви можете задавати питання на українській мові. У нас є перекладач.
Тут, викладач не потрібен в даному випадку, я думаю.
Добре, добре.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Then thank you to Georgy Korobeynikov. Thank you for the so interesting report. And now our next reporter, Edi Setivan, Ph.D., Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Physical Education, Health and Recreation, Universitas in Indonesia. Please, Edi Setivan.
Okay, Professor, thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Will you show your presentation yourself, or you want me?
Let's share my presentation, Prof.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity you give to me, Professor. Hello, everyone. My name is Edi Setiawan. I am from Indonesia, and I want to explain the report of my research entitled Augmented Reality in Physical Education, Increasing Grit and Satisfaction Student. Background and research objective. There is something behind why I did this research, namely, the use of ER in PE increasingly popular. However, there is a lack of research evidence linking ER with increased grade and satisfaction student in PE at the university level. Therefore, this study proposed to investigate the effect of using ER on increasing the level of grade and satisfaction.
I'm sorry, we lost your presentation. Could you use it again? Yes, thank you.
Okay. The gap and novelty of research. There were several studies about ER in PE which had been well documented. Opportunity, there was no study that reported the application of ER to improve grade and satisfaction of students in PE. In addition, previous study only focused on researching ER through experimental research and systematic review. So, this study presented a novelty in testing the effect of ER increasing grade and satisfaction of students using experimental study with a randomized control design. Augmented reality learning, definition of ER. Basically, ER is learning process that involves advanced technological media which combine real and virtual avatar 3D animation. So, how is the learning process with AR? First, students observe movement such as punch and kick demonstrated by 3D animation or virtual avatar for 10 minutes. After that, students do the movement they saw in AR over and over again. And if students forget the movement, they can look back at AR. Benefit of AR. Previous study reported that AR has proven effective in increasing learning motivation, concentration, and attraction motor skill of students, and effective for increased academic achievement. Okay, definition grit. Grit is an individual personality in managing and carrying out action constantly to achieve high performance. Another theory explained that grit is basically the passion and endurance behavior to deal with difficult to achieve goal. Benefit of grit. Previous research reported the positive impact of developing grit in students, for example, to prepare them in achieving success in academic. Satisfaction. Definition satisfaction. Student satisfaction can be interpreted as feeling of joy or satisfaction when carrying out learning in PE. Benefit of satisfaction. Data reported that the level of satisfaction in terms of PE and sport, studying or living life was getting lower. According to Kerzik et al., student satisfaction was a predictor for determining the level of success in academic. Meanwhile, low satisfaction has an impact on reduce the level of participation and motivation in learning. Method section. In this study, experimental research was adopted with a randomized control design. Participants, we plan to follow 39 students who studied in the first to fourth year the Physical Education Department of Surya Kencana University, Indonesia. After random, students were allocated to control group and augmented reality through random analysis. Instrument, grit and satisfaction were measured through a questionnaire instrument. Statistics analyzed the experiment data was subjected to analyze using Jamovi. Non-parametric analysis was chosen, and so the data did not meet some assumption of normality. So the Mann-Whitney test was used to test different score in grit and satisfaction in the control and ER group initial test and final test. Result of study. First, based on table 2 analysis of the Mann-Whitney test, the result of the initial test in the two groups showed that there is no significant difference in grit and satisfaction because p-value are greater than 0.05. Second, based on table 3 at the final test stage, it showed that there is difference in grit and satisfaction score between control and ER because p-value are smaller than 0.05. Finally, the conclusion in this research is based on this result, it can be concluded that ER has a positive effect on grit and satisfaction level. We believe that our research can provide useful information for researcher, teacher, lecturer about the importance of ER application in the context of PE learning as an effort to promote a better level grit and satisfaction of students.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How? What question will there be? I have a question. Please tell me what exercises you have used in our experiment. What exercises? Do you understand me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Eddie?
I
Bad
suppose
internet.
we lost him, yeah. But yeah, okay.
Connection is bad. Eddie writes that the connection is bad, and he.
Okay, never mind. I think we can continue, and
yes.
And after all, we can ask him our question.
Yes. Our next reporter, Gabriel Buidos, Doctor of Science, Department of Physical Education and Sport, Faculty of Arts, Maribel University in Banska Bystrica in Slovakia. Please, Gabriel Buidos.
Thank you, Professor. I will try and launch my presentation. Hopefully it is gonna work. I'm just gonna do this. Can you see my screen?
No. Yes.
Started. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. And now this one. I think that you should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let me start with this. Dear Professor Kozin, first of all, let me express my gratitude towards you and your colleagues or your team who made this conference possible. And I know that the times are probably hard for you in Ukraine, so I appreciate it. And then I can move towards my presentation. So as I said, dear Professor, dear colleagues, dear and everyone who is watching this presentation, my name is Gabriel Buidos, and I come here in front of you from the Department of Physical Education and Sports, Faculty of Arts at Maribel University in Banska Bystrica in Slovakia. That's who I'm representing, our department, and also my colleagues who made this, let's call it a study possible, who also participated in preparing this study, and that is Professor Pavel Bartik, Assessed Professor Stefan Adamczak, and Dr. Michal Marko. Let me go straight into the title of my presentation and of our study is the use of smartphones in the physical activities of adolescent girls in Slovakia and the Czech Republic. Why have we chosen Slovakia and the Czech Republic? As already Professor who was presenting the first said and assumed that I am from Czech Republic. I don't think that there are any two nations in the world that are as close as Czech and Slovak Republic is. So that's why it is very common for us to do these studies and different researches together. And we still think of our two nations as basically one. Introduction to our study and why have we decided to do this is the obvious lack of physical activity and physical activity levels that are slowly degrading, and we can see this in relation with the smartphones and the introduction of so-called computerization after the new millennium, I would say. There are authors who are mentioning computerization in the early 1990s or even 1980s as the first time as a term that came. Now we have smartphones. As we can all say, we can see smartphones everywhere, and I myself I'm also the victim of using smartphone all the time. And each and every week I look at how much time I spend on smartphone, and I'm just basically disgusted by myself that I could have spent that time doing something more important, basically. As we will be talking of physical activity and physical activity levels as well, influence of pandemic has not been good, obviously. The study was conducted after the second wave of the pandemic of COVID-19 that has influenced both physical activities of, I mean, not both, but physical activities of everyone, I would say. And it has unfortunately affected children and teenagers the most. They've stopped being very active. Even in Slovakia, from our researches, it is known that almost 70% of young adults, teenagers, and also children mostly, the only physical activity in schools. So the only physical activity they will be doing is during the physical education classes. WHO recommendations, or the World Health Organization recommendations for the physical activity in this age group that I will be talking about are approximately from 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week. Healthcare system. I'm mentioning healthcare system because the people are only listening when someone is talking about money, and it is very important to mention that the newly formed globalization and global health problems are influencing the healthcare systems the most. It is an incredible amount of billions of euros that are spent over in not just over in European Union, but mostly like everywhere in the world. And all of these problems could be basically lowered or eradicated if there was more of physical activity in our children. And physical education lessons or physical education classes I will be mentioning that during my presentation. So what was the aim of our study? What was the aim of our study? The study's objective was to compare how adolescent girls in Slovakia and the Czech Republic used their smartphone for physical activity, or in the relation with physical activity. The age of our participants was approximately 17 and 18 years. I didn't put the exact number here, but the female participants attended either grammar school, secondary vocational school, or conservatories in the 3rd or 4th year of their studies. So basically, they were 17 and 18 years old. Main method of our study was a questionnaire. So the questionnaire consisted of 13 questions. All these 13 questions were in relation to smartphones and physical activity. Survey evaluation. We have evaluated the survey or the questionnaire using both there is a program which is called TAP3 program in Banska Bystrica, and we have used that, and also we have used Excel, Microsoft Excel, and other statistical programs for this to test for statistical evaluation at the level of P001 or 005 to see if the results when compared to see if the results were statistically significant. As you can see here, the summary of on the right hand corner on the bottom, you can see that 1,515 adolescent girls were participated in our study. More than 908 from that was from Slovak Republic, and almost 700 was from Czech Republic. We have looked at 2 cities. In Slovakia, it was Košice, very beautiful city. I recommend visiting because I'm from that part of Slovakia. It is the eastern part, very close to Ukraine, and Bratislava as our capital is. And from Czech Republic, it was a beautiful city of Prague and Brno as well. Now we go to the first question, and to the question that was very obvious that we expected these answers. The first question that we asked, what type of a mobile phone or a smartphone do you own? We chose this word mobile phone because not everyone owns a smartphone. As you can clearly see, in Czech Republic, it was more than 98% of girls owned the smartphone. In Slovakia, it was a tiny bit lower, and it was 96%. Other answers were classic hardware phone, not even a person in Czech Republic, not even 2% in Slovakia, and there wasn't even a percent of our participants who stated that they do not own a phone. Also, I do not know answer to the question. We feel that it might have been the result of that question might have been like something that the girls or the participants, they had no idea whether they have a hardware phone or a smartphone. When we look at the evaluation from the perspective of statistical analysis, we can see that the differences between Czech and Slovak Republic were statistically significant. How many hours? This is a very nice one. How many hours a day are you using your mobile phone? As we can see, the most stated answer to this question was 1 to 3 hours a day, which was respectively 45 and 14 in Slovakia and 49% in Czech Republic. From my experience and from our research, even if you look at the article that will be published later, we can say that the most influenced by this so-called, I can also call it the pandemic of smartphones or smartphone use in our children and adolescents, is that from looking at the research, it is 11 to 14, I want to say, to 14 years old worldwide spend up to 9 hours a day on their smartphones, and that number a little bit decreases when they are teenagers to like 6 or 7 hours a day. Third question was, what is your opinion on how much time you spend using your phone or a smartphone? Appropriate to the present, that was the most obvious answer, and there was almost 69 and more than 55% in Slovak Republic and almost 69 in Czech Republic, which you can see here clearly stated in the green from the chart. And disproportionate was also very interesting, because only 4% and 3% of Slovakia's girls have stated that. What to my I was really surprised by it was that not even 20% of girls from Czechia and more than 25% of girls from Slovakia have stated that they consider that the time they spend using their smartphone is high. To this question, I want to also add my own perspective, and that is that I worked with teenagers as well at the high school, and when I asked them a question, that was a year ago or 2 years ago, when I asked them a question about how much time they spend on their smartphones, it was definitely higher than the answer previous. It was 6, 7, 8, even 10 hours a day. What is your preferred phone-related activity? Taking pictures was more than one third of answers from Slovakia and 24% of answers from Czech Republic. It was also like shooting videos, listening to music, etc., etc. As you can obviously see, the most popular activity is social sites, chatting. Oh, there is a mispronunciation. It says chatting, no, but it is chatting and emailing. That was almost 70% in Czech Republic. When we look at the differences from statistical analysis, we can see that these differences between Slovakia and Czechia were significant on the level of 0.1, and they were statistically significant. Do you use your phone in relation to physical activity? Yes, but irregularly. That was the most common answer to the question in Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, respectively. And I do not engage in any physical activities, which makes me happy, this answer, because only 4% of girls in Czech Republic and more than 6% in Slovakia have said that they didn't engage in any physical activities. All right, and what is the most common physical activity monitored? As we all know that we have also looked at this, and you will be able to see it in the article, that our smartphones are already pre-installed with some applications that can monitor different physical, different things. One of those is physical activity. Maybe they can monitor heart rate. From what I have just recently found out, that you can download an application. I own an iPhone, and you can download an application which will measure your heart rate, even though you don't have an Apple Watch, which I do not. And you will just put your you will just put your finger on, maybe you can see, on the camera here, and then the camera will measure your heart rate from it. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it is possible. Number of steps or the distance traveled and ran was the most question that was the answer that was the most common one, both in Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, almost 70% in both. And that is, in my opinion, and in the opinion of my colleagues also, because those steps or the distance traveled or ran, that is usually pre-installed in each and every phone. So if you own an iPhone, you can go to the health activities in your iPhone, and you will see how many steps a day have you walked. Okay, and I want to move to the discussion, so I'm not taking too much time, and say that in our article there are 2 or 3, I'm not sure, more charts regarding the physical activity levels and in connection with smartphones. But from my opinion, and from opinion of my colleagues, smartphones and the amount of time spent endlessly scrolling on social media before you go to bed and all day basically, definitely influences your sleeping and sleeping patterns. Now, me and my colleagues, we are working on different articles that is about sleeping patterns and sleeping and how smartphones influence sleeping, which can be also interesting. Maybe next year I will be presenting here about that. And that is very important to say. Self-evaluation of physical activity. Why I'm going to mention this is I believe that we can teach kids, children, and teenagers, and adolescents, and adults, everyone, how to evaluate physical activity. And I believe that sharing is caring, what they say, and that sharing and peer pressure can really change stuff. So, and in connection, that self-evaluation in connection with physical education really can be interesting, and it can change things, as I believe that if you make a group of people, which we have tried during COVID, and we have tried and it did really work, you make a group of people and these people are pushing each other in these physical activity levels, and you can see all your friends there, you can see all your colleagues or classmates, and you are sharing your results on this app, and you can see how many steps they have achieved or how many calories they have burned in a week or in a day, in a month. Obviously, you are going to feel guilty about it and you are going to do something. And the last thing that I'm going to recommend is the IPAQ. And we have done multiple studies of IPAQ, and then it's an international physical activity questionnaire. It is not connected with this article, but it is a very easy to download, easy to share, easy to distribute questionnaire among your peers, colleagues, your children, your students, and you probably have heard of him. It is globally accepted and globally used, and it can give an accurate evaluation on how much we are basically moving and how much are we active. Thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions if you have any.
Yes, thank you very much. What questions will there be?
I have a question. Can I?
Yeah.
First of all, Gabriel, thank you for your speech. It was very, very nice. I love it, and then especially that UMB, Universitat Mateja Bela. I was last time in March of this year, and please send the best wishes to the Pavel Barczyk, Professor Pavel Barczyk. I suppose that health of professor is okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
I have a question. What do your opinion, looking for your investigation, What phone model I speak about? Samsung or iPhone? It's much more sporty. How do you think if we can say on this way?
I get your question, and I honestly do believe now that it is not even about the phone nowadays, or like the maker of the phone, the brand of the phone, or the operation system, whether it is Android or whether it is iOS. I believe that it is about the applications, because obviously it doesn't really matter what sort of a phone you have or I have. We can all be connected through the applications. I believe that the applications are mostly the same, and that they are widely distributed. Also, this is a question about money. So they want to earn more money. They put it in the Android phone. They put it in the iOS phones. So everybody can be connected through the applications. And the pre-installed applications, hard to say. I myself, I'm using an iPhone. I know many people who are using Android phones. From my experience, as I said, there is this health application in my phone, and it is not doing very much. It is basically counting steps. It can count calories, but you have to put those things inside of it, how much food you have eaten, etc., etc. But also it can, I believe that it can track your sleeping patterns as well.
Thank you very much. Why I'm asking this question? Because some systems have a fabric installed sport activity monitors and sport activity programs, and not everyone install it. And if you have it from the shop, from a fabric, you use it. For example, it's my opinion. And Automatic, it's very interesting because a few years ago we have a special investigation which electronic devices Polish people using, and the phone was on the first place, and also the watches also was very popular. And when you're speaking, you born in my mind very interesting idea. I'm traveling in all world and looking for some people using that phone is absolutely every day, very intensive. Some people not. I don't know why, but maybe it's a cultural thing. And I invite you to increase your investigation for population of Kazakhstan, because people sitting all time only with phones, all time. We have many students here in Poland from Kazakhstan as well. We have very, very good cooperation with the huge universities in Kazakhstan. It's my proportional. Also, I think it will be very interesting to increase to Ukraine and maybe universities from Kharkov and from Kyiv and from Lvov will connect to this, because I think it's very, very nice investigation. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And yes, I do agree with you and with the applications as well. And as I have mentioned it before about that activity and the IPAQ, or the International Physical Activity Questionnaire, which I believe that you are familiar with. There has been a lot of studies like that conducted at our university, in our department. And also I have been author and co-author of those. And I do believe that it is very easy. And as I said, it is the peer pressure, because I don't use the Apple Watch or like the band, the wristband that is connected. I just don't want any more of that, because I'm already spending too much time on my phone. So yes, I do agree, but I really do feel that it is about sharing. If we share the results with our friends, with our colleagues, I do believe it is going to pressure and push us towards better results.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have no question. I just want to thank you, Gabriel, for this really interesting and really important topic. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you to Gabriel Budos and Alexander Skali for interesting proposition to Ukrainian University cooperation. Thanks. And if are not questions, we will continue.
Можна в мене запитання, вибачте.
Так.
Собко Ірина, Харківський національний педагогічний університет. Пане Габріелю, скажіть, будь ласка, як ви обирали учасників дослідження і чи були студенти, які відмовились від участі в експерименті? Дякую.
Well, I'm not okay.
Gabriel, how do you conduct your study in terms of people? Like how do you choose which one will be participate in your study? And a question from Irina Sapko, Ph.D. from Kharkiv National Pedagogical University.
As I have mentioned in the methods of the presentation, we have chosen girls. Obviously, this is just a part of our study that we are publishing, because also we do have results from boys or male population as well. But we have to try to separate those on two occasions and then compare it, as we believe that comparing female and male students in physical activity is not the best solution always, because it is different, obviously, different reasons, different biological reasons. And we wanted to this questionnaire, we wanted to distribute it to basically teenagers or people who can objectively say about themselves at this age how much time they spend using smartphones. If you ask, for my opinion, and if you ask a 12-year-old girl if she thinks that it is appropriate to spend 6 hours a day on her phone, she'll probably say, okay, yeah, it is appropriate. But if you ask someone who is 17, 18 years old, that person is going to be more objective about how she spends her time. And that's why we decided to ask these students that are at the end of their studies at the high school, and for obvious reasons, Czech and Slovak Republic are closely connected, so that's why we have chosen this distribution in Czech and Slovak Republic.
Yeah, and it was particularly children in school. Yeah, we just choose different schools and
the schools that we chose were, as mentioned, it was either grammar school, which is called gymnasium. Maybe in Ukraine it is gymnasium as well. In Slovakia it is gymnasium. Vocational schools. So those schools are the schools that introduce people into trades like electricians, plumbers, or they can auto mechanics, and also conservatories that are connected obviously with either music or dancing. And so that's how we wanted to cover all the different groups. So we are not looking only at people from conservatories who might be moving more, might be involved in physical activity more, since they might be dancers, or they might be actors in the cinema or something, or I don't know what. So that's why we wanted to look at these and those, and look at the also, as Professor Skali said, maybe sedentary lifestyle that is obviously skyrocketing in recent years.
Добре, значить, в даному дослідженні, яке було представлено зараз на презентації, в даному дослідженні досліджувались лише дівчата. Є ще дослідження, в якому є ще хлопці, але для більшої наукової чіткості автори вирішили досліджувати окремо дівчат та хлопчиків. Дівчата, значить, вибиралися школи, і в основному це були гімназії. І також школи мистецтв не досліджувалися консерваторії, якісь спортивні школи, тобто бралися гімназії, художні школи, ось такі. І це, значить, дівчата 17 років, тобто вже кінцеві класи, значить, і також один з головних критеріїв, який був по відбору дітей, це наскільки чітко підлітки могли відповісти на питання, скільки часу вони проводять за смартфоном.
Дякую, дякую.
Thank you very much for your answer, Gabriel.
Yes, thank you very much, Gabriel. And now we will continue. Our next reporter, Efrem Kentiba, Ph.D., Department of Sports Science, Arbaminch College of Education, Ethiopia. Please, Efrem, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Right.
very nice. It's very nice. You will share your presentation yourself or I?
I'm just sharing it. Just a moment.
Okay. We are waiting.
Can you see my slides?
Yes. Very nice, very nice.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to say, Professor Zaneta, thank you especially for offering me this chance to present a piece of paper in this international conference. Next to that, I'd like to ask apology for some language inaccuracies, since English is not my first language. So there might be some inaccuracies during my presentation, so just consider it. And I'm happy to share my work with you in this international conference. My name is Efrem Kentiba. I'm working as exercise physiology assistant professor in Arbaminch College of Education, which is found in southern part of Ethiopia. I think many of you know Ethiopia by its long distance runners. So it's just a country found in Eastern Africa. And I'm very happy to be here with you at this time. I'm going to present a piece of paper on the title, Effect of Moderate Intensity Aerobic Exercise on Fatigue Index and Sleep Quality. Basically, this is a part of a piece of a project. There's a big project that I'm conducting with another colleagues. And I'm going to present the part which deals with sleep quality as well as fatigue index. When we see the background or introduction of the study, it's obvious that sleep is one of those biological processes which is necessary for metabolism Again, it's necessary for hormonal balance, cardiovascular system, and some other functions of the body. Different scholars also study sleep in terms of different ways. Here we want to see, or this study tried to see the effect of exercise, especially on sleep quality. So sleep quality is just individuals' self-satisfaction with all aspects of sleep experiences. Under sleep quality, there are different dimensions, or the so-called attributes. There is sleep latency, sleep duration, sleep efficiency, sleep disturbances, and again, daytime dysfunction. So these are considered as some of these sleep quality attributes or dimensions. Actually, the concept is also related with the time when the onset of sleep begins, and again, the time when the sleep process ends. Actually, the concept is also related with circadian rhythm. So within 24 hours of the day, our body processes or passes through different processes. So basically, the onset of sleep is related with the secretion of melatonin, that's the hormone. And again, the end of the sleep is also related with the stoppage phase of the melatonin secretion. So basically, there is average time of the day in which the sleep starts, or the secretion of this melatonin secretion starts, as well as when it ends. When we see the studies related with sleep quality, for instance, prevalence of poor sleep quality has been reported in university and college students, and it's just between 27 up to 60%. So majority of college and university students are affected by poor sleep quality due to different academic demands. Again, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine also advises people to exercise regularly to maintain good sleep hygiene. Another study which was conducted by including 23 countries shows that majority or most of university students have low physical activity levels, and people who have sleep dysfunction often experience daily fatigue due to the sleep dysfunction. The effect of exercise on fatigue has been evaluated in chronic diseases. However, there are some studies, or few studies has been conducted on university and college students. And again, we hypothesize that the level of exercise intensity is also an essential factor that may have to receive much attention regarding the sleep quality. That means it might not be the same when exercising at low intensity, moderate or high. So we also wanted to see such issues in this study. Hence, the study aims to evaluate the effect of moderate intensity aerobic exercise on fatigue index and sleep quality in college students. Actually, this is the summary of the methodological part that we have followed from the study setting up to the ethical issues is just mentioned in the first column. And again, each parts were explained in the second column, and remarks needed is just mentioned here. So the exercise protocol is, as I've already mentioned, is moderate intensity aerobic exercise for which is performed for 4 weeks, and from the first week to the second week, the intensity was just the same. Again, from the second up to the third, still it is within moderate intensity, but some changes needed. So intensity, and by using the percentage of heart rate, has been just gradually increased until the last week. So this is just how the progress was done. When we come to the results and discussion part, this is just the demographic profiles of the participants. And this is the first part, which shows the effects of moderate intensity aerobic exercise on sleep quality. So in the baseline results are mentioned here. All the experimental as well as control groups were assessed initially, and then all the sleep components or the dimension of sleep before the exercise were somehow the same between all the groups. It's not significantly different at the baseline, but after 4 weeks of the intervention, the moderate intensity aerobic exercise, majority of the sleep dimensions show a significant difference between the groups, except sleep latency. So this is the only sleep component which has shown non-significant difference between the two groups. Again, when we see the effects of moderate intensity aerobic exercise on fatigue, just similar with sleep quality, fatigue index has also these dimensions like general fatigue, physical fatigue, mental fatigue, reduced activity, reduced motivation, and again, global multidimensional fatigue index score is mentioned at the last. So we can see here the baseline results between the groups. It is still not different between the experimental as well as control groups. And again, after the 4 weeks of intervention, all the fatigue index dimensions show significant difference between the groups. Hence, the 4 weeks moderate intensity aerobic exercise had no significant effect on sleep latency. And again, moderate intensity aerobic exercise for 4 weeks has a significant effect on all components of sleep quality, except, as I have said above, except sleep latency. All the components has shown a significant difference between the group. Again, in the same fashion, fatigue index also shown significant difference between the two groups, the experimental as well as control groups. And the majority of studies show a positive impact of aerobic exercise on sleep quality in students. Again, other studies with different intensity show contrasting results. This just tells us that all exercise intensities have no similar effect on sleep quality as well as fatigue index. Hence, the varying intensity level of physical activity may affect
We don't hear you. Ephraim? Problem with internet, maybe. Okay, okay.
Unfortunately. The most interesting part.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we will continue. If Ephraim will be able to continue after all participants, then we take him the floor. Our next reporter Valeria Tishenko, Doctor of Science, Professor, Honorary Coach of Ukrainian, Professor of the Department of Theory and Methodology of Physical Culture and Sports, Zaporizhia National University, Ukraine. Please, Valeria.
Thank you. But... А ви мені надали права, так, на демонстрацію?
Так, я всім надала права на демонстрацію. Що, немає?
Зараз.
Є. Ми бачимо. We are seeing.
Thank you.
So.
It's okay?
Yes.
Oh dear. Colleagues, I am pleased to see you. Today, not only famous scientists, students, postgraduate students, but also coaches attend this event. So, I hope this information will be interesting and provide useful headlines. This isn't a universal remedy. Each of you knows your tennis like no one else. Also, each body is individual, and we must be able to approach each player taking into account these aspects. So, sport games feature non-standard movement and emotional uplift of athletes. Within the training process, of athletes are at constant emotional tension. Periods of active muscle work are provided with the energy of anaerobic origin, are replaced with frequent breaks during which energy saving of the body takes place aerobically. Therefore, this calls for athletes all-around preparation and sufficient development of all adenosine triphosphate resistance pathways in their body. All this affects the biochemical state of the body in a certain way. The high emotional tension of the players in the pre-start period and during the match leads to an increased production of adrenaline, which accelerates the process of liver glycogen breakdown, which significantly increases blood sugar content. You may say that athletes do a lot of running, jumping, and work out in a gym. In this wrong way to train. Actually, it isn't. The point is not athletes should train a lot executing many exercises. The coach and players must understand what is overload and what is overtraining mean. Quality of training and its correctness are important. There are also technical, tactical, and mental aspects which also require time and effort to develop. Therefore, physical training should be carefully planned in order to use time and other resources efficiently. At the same time, variety and development are of great importance so that players don't lose information. Scientific analysis showed that physical training should take into account the specific playing position of athletes, as well as their individual physical abilities and recovery needs for the players to be able to reach their peak form at the right time. Many clubs have a fitness coach who work 1 or 2 days a week. However, that isn't enough. The correct volume and intensity not only increases efficiency, but also prevents strain and injury. It's necessary to be able to take into account scientific recommendations and individual characteristics. In this case, training will be more effective, which will help to reduce the overall strain and minimize the number of injuries. Not only physical work in the gym aerobic and anaerobic exercises outside the court, but also exercises with a ball are necessary. Players also need to be tested regularly. As you can see, being a fitness coach in sports game is not an easy job. Often, it's a person from a fitness center who doesn't have knowledge about the specific features of team sports games. This isn't normal for a professional club. It's not advisable to invite a young fitness instructor who performs physical training in a gym 2 or 3 times a week. Physical training in team sport at high level includes much more. This should be done by a specialist who is well informed of a certain kind of sport and has perfect knowledge in the field of physiology. This specialist can prepare a training plan according to empirically by scientific principles, as well as understand the cause and effect relationship between training and the form of athletes. An ideal coach in physical training is a person who combines knowledge and experience of scientific activity with practical experience. As I have mentioned before, the main thing in knowledge, fitness coach is obliged to understand the game and watch matches in order to assess condition of the athletes. The main goal isn't to achieve maximum results during practice or to overcome a long distance during the yo-yo test. The players must be able, for example, to jump high when executing a throw, must be faster during a breakthrough or dribbling, stronger when facing a player, and at intensity during a match of a long tournament. Therefore, the main task is to increase the level of functional preparedness. But how can we understand whether it's optimal for an individual player during a match? We may design a training plan with a large total amount of physical load and at the same time exhaust the athlete. But a good specialist is able to improve the player's shape with the minimum necessary physical load. Fitness coaches must be present at every training session to conduct warm-ups and recovery exercises on game days. They should become an integral part of the team. Even in the best clubs, many so-called specialists are only responsible for physical conditioning in the gym and sometimes for running. I consider that we don't need it. After all, neither the team for individual players will be able to achieve optimal conditions by required deadline in this way. The results of such training will be slow and with different functional values. Let's consider recommendation of a complex scientific group. So average handball players run about 6 kilometers per match. The volume of movement during training should be 2.5 times greater. If we follow the logic, then a marathoner whose competition distance is 42 kilometers should run 100 kilometers during training. Yes, in biathlon and in cross-country skiing, this approach works. However, in handball, the work is done on short, repeated sprints. You will ask me, what is the justification for the 2.5 times increase? Why not at 5-10 kilometers so that handball players can 100% fly? What is actually needed to be done? We analyze this game of handball and structure it be.
Valeria? Valeria? connection. Okay. Thank you very much, Valeria Tищенко. And now Ephraim Kendiba is ready to continue his report. Please, Ephraim Kendiba. And after them, Valeria Tищенко maybe will connected.
Sorry, may I know where I stopped? Because it was not visible. Just I continued until last. When I minimized the windows, I saw that I lost the connection.
Okay.
I don't know where I lost the connection, but I can start as a fresh. Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed from the beginning?
No. You can continue from just first of all, you can show us your presentation, and from your presentation we are going to understand where we lost you.
Okay.
You lost after discussion. After discussion, you.
After discussion, all right. Already presented the result?
Next slide. You are lost. Oh. There is.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, based on the results presented above, the 4 weeks moderate intensity aerobic exercise had no significant effect on sleep latency, but the this moderate intensity aerobic exercise intervention has a significant effect on all components of other sleep quality components or dimensions, as well as all components of fatigue index. And majority of the previous studies agree that the aerobic exercise has a positive effect or a positive impact on sleep quality in students. Some studies also has some contrasting results, but these studies they just employed exercise with different intensity. So the varying levels of physical activity or different levels of exercise intensity may affect sleep quality in a different way. In this context, moderate intensity exercise is just defined as 60 to 70% of heart rate max, or percentage of maximum heart rate. And our result shows that, or our results reveal that increasing the intensity of exercise from mild to moderate after 2 weeks could improve the sleep quality. Again, the mechanisms by which exercise may decrease fatigue level as well as increase sleep quality might be attributed to an anxiety reduction through exercise. Again, additional explanation for this effect of exercise on sleep is related with core body temperature, because exercise has the ability to increase the core body temperature. And again, at the end of the exercise, the core body temperature will decrease, actually, like after an hour or an hour and a half, it may decrease, so that the decreasing of this core body temperature plays facilitating the sleep process. So based on this, we concluded, following this piece of study, we concluded that moderate intensity aerobic exercise for 4 weeks has a significant effect on all components of fatigue index and sleep quality, except sleep latency. So this is just the part which was not presented and which was lost because of the internet connection. And thank you very much. I've just acknowledgements to the study participants, to my college, and again, these international conference organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Kantiba, dear Ephraim, Kantiba. Please, the questions, very interesting report. View. No questions? No questions. Well. And Valeria Tishenko, you are ready to continue? Are you ready to continue, Valeria?
Yes, I don't know what the matter. Oh, just a moment.
Yes. No. We are ready to hear you.
Yeah, it's okay. We're looking forward.
You hear me?
Yes. We see.
You see?
Yes.
Internet is very
Good. Yes.
I hope this understand information will be interesting and provide useful guidelines. This isn't a universal remedy. Each of you knows your trainees like no one else. Also, each body is individual, and we must be able to approach each player taking into account these aspects. So,
Valeria, I'm sorry. You can continue after you left. Ви можете продовжувати з того місця, де ви зупинилися.
А з якого я пропала?
Ось.
Оце?
Так.
Ага, все, добре. Зараз. А то я думала, взагалі я тоді зникла.
Ні. Ось отут ви зникли.
Ага, дякую.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Отже, Warm-up is an important component of athlete training as its basis part. Key positive effects of a well-designed warm-up include improvement of sports results and reduction of the risk of getting an injury. I spoke with one famous coach about preparation for training, and he told me how the Olympic champions came to the session an hour before the start of the team warm-up, went free of the simulators for 2 laps and ran, because they knew that as soon as the coach enters the gym, the intensive training begins without any prelude. This is where I thought, wow, they come there an hour early, which in 60 minutes, and warm up before the actual warm up. You know what? This is a professional approach to the training process. I don't urge anyone to come exactly an hour before the event, but players must be in gym 20 to 80 minutes earlier. Warm-up is an integral part of any training in any sport. Before planning any warm-up, it's important to think through the exercises, and for this I have collected key questions that will enable to do it as efficiently as possible. So 5 key questions that any coach should ask while designing a warm-up. Does the warm-up improve the athlete's performance in the short term? Is the warm-up clearly structured? Is it time-saving? Does it correlate with the key objectives in the training session? Does the warm-up increase the quality of the athlete's performance in the long term? Naturally, you might say, why can't former player or coach who know the sport will become a fitness coach? My answer is mostly not. Many coaches have been athletes in the past, and often at a fairly high level. However, basic knowledge of physiology is necessary here, as it allows deep understanding of the concept, principles, and consequences of training. Most players don't have such knowledge. Therefore, the teams should have a coach who specializes in physical training, and not just a former player who will conduct training by the exact same program that he underwent in the past. Coaches in general physical training must have good knowledge of physical requirements to players during a match, initial physical level of players, objectives of the training period, principles and outcomes of various types of training, standard exercises outside and on the court with the ball, methodological updates, time needed in future to implement the methods, specific features of rehabilitation, shape maintaining, and detraining, physical load reduction, principles, tapering during the competition, special planning duration, intensity, and session frequency, testing methods in sport game. On this slide, I want to show how the Phoenix Suns basketball teams promotes weight training immediately after games. This happens due to the lack of time to organize a full-fledged training session in a gym, taking into account the tight schedule of games travels plus to oppose one physical load wise to another basketball court. The video shows a fragment of work after a win in a road game against the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, this doesn't only apply to those who spend little time on the court. Kevin Durant himself can be seen here. To finish, I would like to quote Cristiano Ronaldo. I am not a perfectionist, but I like to feel that things are done well. More important than that, I feel an endless need to learn, to improve, to evolve. not only to please the coach and the fans, but also to feel satisfied with myself. It's my conviction that here are no limits to learning and that it can never stop, no matter what our age. Thank you for your attention. Sorry
Yes.
for problem. Так.
Thank you, dear Valeria. And how will be questions? Please ask questions. No questions?
The more we know
Okay.
about warm-up, the less we really understand the matter. Yeah, it's a really interesting and quite complicated topic, and I know that many athletes have continued discussion about warm-up and how it should be done. And yeah, thank you for your contribution to this topic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Valeria. And our next reporter, Nadi Apriadi, doctor from South Sumatra in Indonesia. Please, Nadi.
Thank you, Professor. Did my voice can hear? Could you hear my voice? Prof. Check sound.
Yeah, we hear.
Do you have a presentation? Do you have a presentation, Nadi?
Okay, let me try to share my slide, Professor.
Unfortunately, we can't see your screen now. Just try it again. Yeah, nice. We see now. Yeah, we see. Just don't forget to put your microphone on.
Nadi, please put your microphone on. We don't hear you. Okay. We will continue with Nadi after our next reporter, Oleg Kvasnitsa. Please, Oleg. Valeria Tishenko will help him. Yes?
Yes. I am demonstration his presentation.
Prof, the material of my slide I sent to your WhatsApp.
Okay.
And whose I am?
Please, Nadi, after Oleg Kvasnitsa, you will continue. I will to download your presentation, and we will wait, and then we will wait. Valeria Tishenko and Oleg Kvasnitsa will give report. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Prof.
You hear me? You see this presentation me now? Okay. In the context of my doctoral student speech, I remembered the song Scorpion, maybe I, maybe you. I hope that when he becomes a doctor of science, we will hear his perfect English. But today I present in English again. Translator Oleg Kvasnitsa, Ph.D. in philosophy and coach in Rugby national team of Ukraine, now with national team of Ukraine in Croat. So I would like to present a report of the topic, the study of competition activity of world's learning teams in Rugby 15. The development of modern sport, namely rugby, features leading position in the system of Olympic and professional sport. Currently, there is an increase in the level of competition between club teams in various game sports at the national and international levels. The growing competition at the international level sets massive demands to the level of technical and tactical skills, general and special physical fitness of both individual players and teams as a whole. The need to study the structure and content of competition activity of qualified rugby players under present-day conditions determines the scope and relevance of our research. The aim of our research is to analyze competition activity of national team at 2025 Rugby Championship season. A competition among the best national teams in the world, national teams of New Zealand, the Republic of South Africa, Australia, and Argentina took part in the championship. Analysis of the indicators of competition activity of the teams participating in the Rugby Championship proved the following: the higher qualification of the team, the higher scoring the players of these teams have on average per game, and the few errors in defense. And this slide shows the average number of tries scored and conceded by each national team at the Rugby Championship. National team of New Zealand ranked first at Rugby Championship, scored the most tries, 24, with an average of 4 tries per game. The players of this country conceded the fewest tries, 11. Analysis of the number of conceded tries by the national teams of Australia and Argentina showed that each of the teams conceded almost the same number of tries, 25 and 26, respectively. In terms of the number of points scored, players of the national team of New Zealand had the best results, 195 points scored. Ranked second in terms of points scored was the national team of South Africa, 164, and the third, the national team of Australia, 142. An important indicator is the number of points allowed during the tournament, with the South Africa allowing the fewest number of points, 119, while fourth place Argentina allowed the most points, 203. Analyzing the difference in points scored and allowed, we can observe a significant domination of the winner of the tournament, national team of New Zealand, plus 67, ranked second national team of South Africa, plus 45, ranked third based on the indicator national team of Australia, minus 52. The world indicator among all participants, minus 60, was shown by the players of the national team of Argentina. Undoubtedly, the number of passes made by rugby players per game is quite a significant indicator of competition activity in rugby 15. Again, the best result her head national team of New Zealand, 919 passes made during the tournament. National team of Argentina made 715 passes. The most indicator among all national teams had South Africa, 586 passes. And one of the essential indicator of competition activity to rugby is movement of players carrying the ball. Likewise, this indicator is the best for rugby players of national team of New Zealand, 2,832 meters during the tournament, 472 meters on average per game. The national team of South Africa showed 2,313 meters. The indicator of the team that was ranked third at the championship won 2,065 meters. And national team of Australia, 312 meters on average per game. This indicator was 4 leading national rugby teams, which participate in 2022 Rugby Rainbow Championship, were analyzed. The analysis showed that national team of New Zealand became the most productive team at the championship, scoring 32 points on average per game. The national team of South Africa allowed the fewest number of points during the tournament, 19 points per game. The prospects of further research will focus on the analysis of indicator of national team at 2022 Rugby Championship in semi-standard and standard plays. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, please. Our questions. Please ask the questions. No questions? Well, Nadia, Georgy Korobeynikov, please,
Yeah.
please.
I have comments. Many thanks, our colleagues, our friends, Valeria Tishenko, for 2 presentations. I think this investigation, first presentation and second, is very important for the development of sport science. And I hope in the future, maybe in these results, approaches will be approaches in training process, and we see the high level of results of athletes, which including of these data, these scientific studies. And I think it's very important for modern sport activity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George.
Yes, thank you, Georgie. Thank you. And now we will to hear our next reporter, Nadi Apriladi. I will show his presentation. Nadia, you are ready?
Yes, ma'am. But help me to present the slide because
Do you can see my screen?
Yeah,
okay,
we
that's
Okay. Please, Nadia.
okay, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Because in my country, there's is around the time is yeah 24 past 49. Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock on the night. Kozina, for this special opportunity, I have time to present the paper of my paper about the Reiki therapy effect on the reduction of the anxiety and the fatigue for the patient with type 2 diabetes mellitus case study in Lubuk Linggau City, South Sumatra, Indonesia. And before that, let me introduce. My name is Nadia Priyadi. I come from Indonesia, from Lubuk Linggau. It's the province is South Sumatra. Okay, we can see the slide. Yeah, propose to explore the impact of Reiki therapy on the side effect of the type 2 diabetes mellitus in the form of anxiety and fatigue. And at the time, this method is a quasi experiment. Use the post control group approach. 18 patients with type 2 diabetes were examined based on a blood pressure in full soul, pulse, and respiration, body temperature, anxiety level, and fatigue. Yeah. 80 patients were divided into two groups, 40 in the control category and 40 in the intervention category. The entire inspection was carried out twice in the intervention category. Okay, next. The result of my paper, based on the analysis result, there are significant differences in the intervention category in measure anxiety and fatigue between before and after Reiki therapy. Meanwhile, in the control category, changes were insignificant between the first examination and after 4 weeks. The results show that in the anxiety variable, the mean pretest score was 21.6, and there was a decrease in the mean post-test average of 17 when Reiki therapy was carried out. Or in other words, it is significant that Reiki therapy affects reducing anxiety scores, namely 0.00 into the fatigue variable. The mean pretest score was 38.5, and there was a decrease in the mean post-test score of 28 when the Reiki therapy intervention was carried out. Or in other words, it was significant that Reiki therapy affect reducing anxiety. Next. Okay, next, Professor. The conclusion, it can be concluded that Reiki therapy reduce the anxiety and the fatigue score. It's recommended for people with diabetes mellitus type 2 can do it independently. Next. For the introduction, Reiki therapy is a natural therapy established on the hypnotical existence of bioenergetic field inherent to the human body. Reiki therapy is a method of energetic healing through spiritually oriented awareness. Reiki therapy is still considered a traditional method as an complement to treatment in diabetes mellitus patient. Even though Reiki therapy is given to increase the patient feeling of peace and reduce anxiety and has been proven to calm patient during healing session. And three, Reiki practitioners believe that trained practitioner can transform this bioenergy field, improving the symptom of paralysis. Reiki provides the therapeutic potential for DM patient to be more motivated to undergo treatment and reduce fatigue or stress. Next. Diabetes mellitus is a group of signs that arise in a person due increased blood glucose level caused by a lack of absolute and relative insulin. Next.
Please, Nadia, I'm very sorry, but you don't need to read all your article. You should to stay to more important moment. And also, we hear in the abstract the results and the conclusion, but please take explain us what is the Reiki therapy, what is method, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let me try to say, Reiki therapy is a natural therapy established of the hypothetical existence of bioenergy field inherent to the human body. Reiki therapy is a method of energetic healing through a spiritually oriented awareness. And then Reiki therapy is still considered a traditional method as a complement of treatment in diabetes mellitus patient.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please, how did you to take to use how do you use Reiki therapy?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. This investigation method is a quasi-experiment adapted a post of a control group approach and implementation of intervention in the form of Reiki therapy in the intervention group, and no treatment was carried out in the control group apart from only suggestion and advice from medical personnel to patient. This type of research discuss the effect of Reiki therapy.
Okay.
The procedure, the instrument used were diabetic mellitus education using video and Reiki on utilizing a trainer. Indicator of achievement in the study were that there was not a reduced anxiety and or not or reduced fatigue. The research was carried out from 29 May 2023 to 29 July for interventing groups for test assessment of the anxiety and the fatigue 1 day before type 2 diabetic mellitus education and post test review 1 day after the intervention. Reiki therapy was carried out for 20 till 30 minutes daily for 30 days. Reiki therapy is carried out through two methods, direct healing and distant healing. Recovery was carried out directly after respondent carried out community health center activities. The responder generally made up the latter. Okay, and then the research allowed the body energy using hand and put 5 centimeter above the three main chakra. Distant healing occur at a good time daily apart from Tuesday and Tuesday. The procedure is the same and direct therapy, only the position of the respondent, and then the research are in their respective homes. Two Reiki master assistant me with the energy transfer. The procedure is the same as direct therapy. Only the respondent and researchers are in their homes. The energy transfer is assisted by two Reiki master from one of the Reiki clinics in Lubuk Linggau City.
Okay. Please tell us how how we can to report your study
Pardon me, Prof.
without master Reiki therapy.
Pardon me, Prof.
Як ми можемо повторити ваше дослідження без наявності майстера з рейкі-терапії? Бо наукові дослідження всі передбачають їх повторення. Тобто будь-хто, хто прочитає вашу статтю, хто прослухає вашу доповідь, повинен повторити ваше дослідження, повинен бути в змозі повторити ваше дослідження. Як ми можемо повторити ваше дослідження? Скажіть, будь ласка.
The question is, I just tell you, the question is how we can repeat your study in our, like, for example, how we can repeat our study in Ukraine without masters of Reiki therapy. How we can repeat, like, we don't have a Reiki therapist at all. Yeah, and how we can repeat, like, we are interested in this study, and how we can repeat in order to approve the effectiveness of your study of effectiveness Reiki therapy.
Okay, thank you. For the first, maybe there's no master Reiki therapist, decide. So the Reiki therapy is can be transferred from distant healing. Yeah. So Reiki, the practitioner will be then place their hands likely on our specific area. It means the Reiki can be used for directly or from distant healing.
I just want to point out that Reiki therapy, I just Googled. Reiki therapy is form of traditional healing where we use our hands without even touch the body of our patients. It's just like something like that, and that is. And that's in order to get your subject more clear. And what do you mean by without connection? You can heal some person through their internet?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We call the distant healing. Distant healing therapy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I have one question. First of all, how do you measure the level of anxiety in your patients, and how do you understand that patient like become better? How do you measure?
Okay, we have an examination, and we have a control about the patient. After we have a healing, we made an examination about the vital sign, maybe like blood temperature, like, and then the fatigue, and we have a test form
Form tests.
to
And
see
patient has
the
to had to like from 1 to 10, yeah, the level of an anxiety, something like that. It was just questions, yeah.
yeah, we have a form, yeah. After we find the patient, 40 patient for the intervention group, we collect the data before and after we give the therapy.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. And I have second questions. I sorry for that. Yeah, I take time. What do you think about placebo? And do you did you have some approach to define the effectiveness of your method with just placebo effect?
Yeah, we can say some people say that Reiki is shadow neuroscience. Yeah, they shadow science. It's like a placebo, but for another people, there is energy is truly is very usable for therapy.
What did you say? Very visible or very useful?
Usable. It's
Visible.
usable.
There is the expression that the things that we don't see, it probably doesn't exist. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about this expression?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah, it is really hard to measure how it is work, and there are some method in treatment that use not evidence based approach to treat patients, but like for example dry needle. Yeah, you know, dry needle,
Yeah,
like Chinese traditional medicine. And there are some things with energy, with chakras, and all this stuff, and so on. But in order to have some base to use for practitioner, we have to separate these effects that somehow work from placebo effect. And in order to do it, we have to have a research with group placebo. And I think that it is really important because I am a physical therapist, and I constantly search for new method, for effective method in order to treat my patients. And I want to seek a good study with good quality. And like you as a researcher have to help me as a practitioner in order to I understand clear, can I use this method, can I use your method, and so on. And in order to do it, we have to have really good quality research. And in this subject where we can't really measure the influence of your treatment, we have to be really careful with this data that we get from this research. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation and that share with us Reiki therapy. It's really a new thing for us. Thank you very much.
thank you, Mister, and thank you very much for your advice. And maybe next time we can collaborate we can make once research together with you. Thank you for your information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you, dear friends, dear participants, and many thanks to all the speakers for their interesting reports. All your reports give a very interesting discussion. And it is very well. All your research will make a great contribution to the science of physical education, sport, and physical therapy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to tell you that on the chat there are links to our journal and to the disk with the conference program and certificates. But there are the certificates only for reporter and for authors of articles. Another participants will take certificates after our conference. Okay?
Thank you.
Я зараз сказала, що за посиленням, яке знаходиться в чаті, там є сертифікати поки що тільки для доповідачів і для тих, хто був авторами статей, які опубліковані або будуть опубліковані в 3 наших журналах. Для всіх інших ми ще не встигли зробити сертифікати, бо всі інші учасники нам будуть, ми будемо робити сертифікати для всіх інших учасників після конференції. Зрозуміли? І за посиленням, яке знаходиться в чаті, ви можете отримати ваші сертифікати. Добре?
Так, зрозуміло.
Так, окей. I thank you very much for take part to our international conference. Very, very interesting reports. We take, and I wish you all the best.
Дякую.
Thank you.
Дякуємо.
Yeah, thank you for.
Thank you so much. Very happy, very helpful for us.
Thank you.
Дякуємо.
Our translator, Serhiy Kozin.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.
It's my pleasure. It was, I was glad to participate in this conference, and also thank you very much, Janeta Kozina, for organized this conference. We and I think whole physical therapeutic sport and rehabilitation world really appreciate your work. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. And best regards to all.
Дякую, до побачення.
До побачення.
Дякуємо, до побачення. До побачення, дякую.
До
Так, до
побачення.
побачення.
До побачення.